Rock and Roll Geek Show 760.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA, online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Saturday, February 18th, 2017, and it's 7:39 p.m. when I'm recording this show. I am actually not drinking a Tecate tonight. First of all, I don't really have any plans for this show. This is Saturday night. I've been working all day, and I'm working tomorrow as well. I was going to do a show last night, but I was on zero sleep because my fucking dogs are just driving us crazy and there was no time to sleep. But so tonight, I am just going to freestyle it. I had I thought about doing a track by track of the Black Star Riders album, but I have a lot of songs that I wanted to play and some other things. So I figured I would just kind of freestyle it tonight and just sit around on a Saturday night, drink some beer, and play some music and just talk a little bit of rock with my friends, you, the friends of the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Tonight I'm drinking actually something different. I'm not drinking Tecate. I'm drinking something from Cooper's Brewery. Cooper's Brewery Original Pale Ale. It is Australian-made beer. This was actually sent to me by a friend of the show, Alex Hill, who has a band called I Don't Know. A little bit of payola. So I'm going to play his band in a little while. I'm not going to play it to start off with, but this beer, I really like it a lot. What's it called again? I have to take it out of this koozie to see the label. It is called Cooper's Brewery Original Pale Ale. It's good, man. I forgot how real beer tastes like, but I still like the Tecate. But I just bought a thing of Tecate Light. I don't really recommend that. I don't know how you can get much lighter than Tecate, but I figured I would try it. You can get lighter than Tecate, but it's not as good as Tecate. But right now I'm going to drink this Cooper's Brewery. Take a sip of this fine Cooper's Brewery. Ah! Now that is real beer. He sent me a case full of booze, or of wine and beer. I will talk about that in a little bit. But right now I'm going to play a song to start off the show. This is a band called Fierce Ideas. This was sent to me by Gav, the guy who used to manage, and he was Ginger Wildheart's manager and business partner. His name is Gav. I like that guy a lot. He's a really, really great guy. When I was doing the Ginger thing in L.A., I really got along with him. I got along with him better than I got along with Ginger. I got along with Ginger fine. He was nice enough, but I was kind of intimidated by Ginger. Pardon me, I'm burping up this fine Cooper's Brewery. I was a little bit intimidated by Ginger because I was so in awe of him. But Gav was like a really personal guy, and I could just sat and talked with that dude for a long time. He was really, really a stand-up guy. Well, he sent me this song. This is a band called Fierce Ideas. It's featuring a girl named Victoria Liedtke. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She was the singer on that first Hey Hello album with Ginger, which, speaking of Ginger, I think he might have given up music, at least temporarily. He shut down his Facebook page. He shut down his Twitter. And the last post he said or one of the last posts on Facebook was, he's quitting music because it's full of assholes or something to that effect. And he said something like, I have an illness that doctors can't find a cure for and people don't understand, or something like that. And it doesn't allow me to tour anymore. And my life is a wreck, or something like that. And then he just got off of Facebook. He is on Instagram, but he just posts pictures of him and his dog. So I don't know what's going on with Ginger, but I wish him the best. Billy, friend of mine and brother in rock, thinks that Ginger, he has a prediction that Ginger might become a counselor for people, which I could see him doing that. It'd probably be a good profession for him. But right now, Ginger claims to be out of music. So anyway, back to Victoria Leakey, who played with Hey Hello with Ginger. Well, she is singing on this band called Fierce Ideas song. Gav sent me this song. I do not have the album. I don't know really much about the band, although I know they were just doing gigs with Baby Chaos and Chris Catalyst. And I like this song a lot. This song is called Living Love by Fierce Ideas. There you go. Fierce Ideas featuring Victoria Leakey on guest vocals. Hey Hello when she left Hey Hello, I think they lost a real talent. I don't know what happened. I think she might be Gab's girlfriend. I don't know for a fact, but I know that they're pretty close. And I think, this is just speculation, but I think him no longer being Ginger's manager and business partner had something to do with Victoria leaving Hey Hello. It's just my guess. It's not that far-fetched of a guess, but I don't want to start rumors or speculation and hearsay, but that's just my feeling. But she's a real talent, and I think she's a great singer, and she was good in Hey Hello. All right. I want to thank people who donated to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. I have not thanked the donors in a couple episodes, so I would like to thank you now. And in the background, I'm going to play. Let's see. I'm going to play the Raven's Age. This is Steve Harris from Iron Maiden's son, plays guitar. What's his name? George Harris. I think his name is George. He's the guitar player in Raven's Edge. I don't think this is my kind of music, but I'm going to go ahead and play it in the background anyway because it's a 7-minute and 25-minute song, or 7-minute and 25-second song. So in the background, I'll play Raven's Edge. This is called Salem's Fate. All right. Thank you to... oh, yeah. Yeah, not really my thing, but good background music. Thank you to everybody who donated to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. There are several ways you can donate. One of them being you can go to my to rockandrollgeek.com and you can just click on the Amazon link and buy anything on Amazon and I'll get a kickback. That's a great way to support the show if you don't want to donate. But if you'd like to donate, you can go to patreon.com/RNRGeek or just go to rockandrollgeek.com and click the Patreon donors page. Thank you, Ken Kennedy, who donates $5 every episode. Thank you to Chiaki Hinahara, my good friend Chiaki. Came over last time I caught some crab and we had a huge crab feast. We had a crab cake feast, actually. I miss Chiaki and I need to go fishing so I can get some more stuff for us to cook. The weather's got to clear up before I can go back out fishing. Thank you to Brian Springer for the $5 every episode. Thank you to my pod... Oh, here we go. No! That's me. That's not them. Okay. Thank you to my podcast mentor and co-host of Mad at Dad. $5 every episode. Dave Slusher is his name. Of the Evil Genius Chronicles and Mad at Dad. Thank you to Betty Wood for the $3 every episode on the Patreon. Thank you to Dan P. for $2 every episode on Patreon. Thank you to Mario Zoth for $2. I don't know how much I'm loving this. Thank you to Bruce McMillan for $2 every episode on Patreon. Thank you to Matthew Hunt for the $2. Thanks to Robert Harvey for $2 every episode. Thanks to John Richardson for $1 every episode. And finally on Patreon, thank you to Corey Kohler for the $1 every episode. You can also donate on PayPal. There's a link at rockandrollgeek.com for me. I need to take a sip of this fine Cooper Ale. There's a link on for PayPal on rockandrollgeek.com. Thank you to Michael Street. Donated a big 100 begonias. Thank you so much, Michael Street. Also, thank you to Bam Ross. You know who Bam Ross is? Well, I'll tell you who Bam Ross is. Bam Ross used to play drums for Dogs D'Amour. He's a friend of mine. Him and his wife Cher plays bass in Vixen. Well, they donated $100. Bam has a jewelry company called Bamtastic. If you are a rock guy or whatever, and want some this is high quality jewelry this guy's got. He hand makes this shit by himself. It's not shit. He hand makes this silver jewelry by hand. I'm not a jewelry guy, but it's really cool jewelry. Jewelry. pendants, rings, bangles. I guess bangles are the, what is that? Bracelets, cufflinks, earrings. It's kind of like pirate type jewelry. Really high quality stuff. Well, they donated $100. BAMtasticsilver.com. I would actually wear, I don't wear rings, but the rings are really cool. Really nice jewelry. How about pendants? Do I wear pendants? I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here looking at BAM's jewelry. Hold on, let me let this play here. Really cool skull and crossbone pendants. Not cheap, but they're high quality. Oh, nice cool flying V necklace. This stuff is not cheap, but it's not cheaply made either. Really high quality stuff. BAMtasticsilver.com. I will put a link to that on rockandrollgeek.com. Thank you, BAM, for donating to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. I really appreciate it, friend. I would take some of that jewelry. I'd probably wear it, I guess. I don't really wear jewelry, but I would wear BAM stuff. Alright, I'm going to run out of time on this. Thanks BAM for the $100. Thank you to Kelly Mitchell for $5. Thanks to Elodie Johns, my first girlfriend, for $20. Every month. Thank you to Deborah Dreyfus for $2, if that's your real name. Happy birthday, too, by the way, Deborah Dreyfus. Thank you to Richard Fusey for... This is actually not that bad. Thank you to Richard Fusey for the $2. Thanks to Richard Strom for $5. Thanks to Dale Roller for $5. Thanks to Andrew Howell for the $5. Thanks to Jason Shepard for the $10. Thanks again to Kelly Mitchell for another donation of $5. Thanks to Christopher Del Grande for the $5. Thanks to Jer O'Carroll for the $5. Thanks to Todd Cunningham for the $10. Friend of the show, Todd Cunningham, and friend of mine. Thanks to John Offenlock for the $5. Thanks to Lassie Satveghagen for the $2. Thanks to Stephen Mascord for the $5. Thanks to John Skiller for the $2. Thanks to Bradley Lisco for the $10 of Turbo Lovers. And thank you for not you sending me all that good music. I'm going to play a song of his band later, probably too. Thanks to Brett Garsky for the $5. Thanks to Ralph Miller for the $10. Friend of mine, Ralph Miller. Thanks to Bradford Page for the $5. Thanks to Craig Vasiloff for the $5. Thanks to Sigmund Heidacher for the $5. I'm going to run out of time. I got to back this up a little bit. Thanks to Sigmund Heidacher for the $5. Thanks to Chris Stanley for the $10. Thanks to School of Podcasting for the $10. Thanks to Peter Spark for the $2. Thanks to John Baveri for the $5. Thanks to Tim Smith for $15. Thanks to Michael Mack, friend of mine and friend of the show, for the $2. Oh, by the way, Tim Smith, the rock and roll runner, new donor. He started a podcast about running, I think. I don't know the name of it, but look for Tim Smith's podcast. He's on Facebook, and he's on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group. Thank you to Patrick Shanahan for the $20. David Ivey for the $5. Thanks to Jeff Thielelicki for the $10. Thanks to Paul Fondery for the $10. Thanks to Adrian Bashon for the $2. He is on Adrian in the forums and in the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, which I did not start with, but I do approve people. Thanks to John Tennis for the $5. Greg Long for the $5. Thanks to Dave Franco for the $10. Thanks to Jeff C.A. for the $5. Thanks to Dean Gillespie for the $5. Thanks to Eric Lentz for $5. And finally, thanks to James Venners for $10. Did not make it in time before the music. I tried, man. I'm sorry if I rushed through your names, but I was trying to get through that music. Now I'm looking at BAMtastic jewelry. I'm getting kind of sidetracked here. This is quality. Let me see. Digital downloads. What does it look at in the digital downloads here? Huh. Okay. Oh, he sells fonts. He makes his own fonts, too. How about that? Collections for her. Let's see what kind of collections he's got for her. Oh, very nice pendants and... Yeah, go to BAMtasticsilver.com. If you're a guy who wears, if you're in a band, if you're a band dude and you want to wear jewelry on stage, Go to BamtasticSilver.com. You probably like it. I think the guy in Autograph wears his stuff, and one of the guys in Poison wears his stuff too. There you go. Thanks again, Bam, for donating. I really appreciate it. Speaking of donations, I got, where's my notes here? I got an email from friend of the show, Alex Hill. Said, "Hey, friend, are you open to bribery?" The subject line of the email was payola. Hey, friend, and if you've ever listened to my show, I'm a fan of payola. If you're a longtime listener, I gladly accept payola. I'm not too proud to accept payola. He says, "Hey, friend, are you open to bribery? The reason I ask is I'm in a punk rock band here in Melbourne, Australia, and we'll be releasing our first single, Pissed Off and Married." I like the title. Pissed Off and Married, worldwide on February 24th. As you know, it's real easy streaming with TuneCore these days. I don't even know what TuneCore is, Alex, to be honest with you. Our Facebook page will be ready next week. We're not claiming to be anything other than a few guys who love punk rock, metal, beer, and fighting the good fight. What's your band name, I hear you ask? I don't know. Huh? No, that's really the name. I don't know. That's Australian humor, he says. Anyhow, if you could give it a spin on your show, that would be awesome. And in return, I will arrange in advance a case of what we call a slab of the finest Australian beer and a couple of bottles of wine for you and your wife to land on your doorstep. If you're open to this payola, please forward your mailing address. Anyway, I hope one of these days we get to catch up in person, down a few beers, and I'll see your band. All right. So he sent me this Cooper Ale, which is really, really good beer. I've been waiting to open up the rest of this stuff. I've got a big box of stuff here. So I came home from taking the dogs in for a long drive. We switched one of our dogs, Mila, with Hermione. We're co-owners of Mila with this other woman, and she took Mila for a little while. We are house sitting one of her dogs for a while, Hermione. And when I got back, there was a guy from Saucy, which is a alcohol delivery company, waiting on the doorstep with all of this stuff he sent me, and it's from Alex Hill. He says, "Are you Alex Hill?" And I said, "No, but this is for me." Okay, so anyway, I had to go through a rigmarole to get approved to be able to have this stuff on my doorstep. But it's a bottle of Oyster Bay Sauvignon Blanc from Marlborough, New Zealand, or Marlborough may be the brand, I don't know, but it's from Marlborough Wine of New Zealand. So it's a white wine Sauvignon Blanc from Oyster Bay, New Zealand. He sent me a bottle of Oxford Landing Estates Shiraz from South Australia, which I do drink wine with when I'm eating meal. A 12-pack of Cooper Ale, which is freaking great beer, man. And then he sent me a 12-pack of Newcastle, which I didn't know. I don't think Newcastle is Australian. I think it's British. Yeah, it's imported from England. So thank you, Alex Hill, for the payola. And in return, I'm going to play Alex's band called I Don't Know. It's called Pissed Off and Married. Let me put it in the playlist here. Pissed Off and Married from where the fuck am I here? From I Don't Know. Pissed Off. All right. The unprofessionalism is just too much for him.
Got myself a woman. Got myself a house. Got myself a car. I look like I got a road going on. Pissed off and happy. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Should be happy. I should be smart. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Should have been happy. Should have been Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Got myself a new woman. Got myself a new house. Got myself a new car. Things will be different this time. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Pissed off and married. Nag, nag, nag. Nag, nag, nag. Nag, 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 nag. Nag, 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 nag.
There you go. I don't know. Thanks, Alex Hill, for the booze, and thanks for the great punk rock song. You too, friends, can get your band played on the Rock and Roll Geek Show. You got a band? Would you like me to play them on the show? All you got to do is send me some beer. It's that easy, friends. Send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. And I like that song. Put a smile on my face. Yeah, send me an email, rockandrollgeek.com. Tell me you want me to play your band, and send me some beer. I would appreciate it. I will play your band. I am a fan of payola. Instead of giving me your band's latest album with a line of cocaine and $100 bill in it, like they used to do to the radio stations, just send me a case of beer, 12-pack of beer. I'll play your band. All right. Thank you, Alex Hill. I appreciate it. All right. Now I'm truly in the nether regions of not knowing what the hell I'm going to do on the show. Okay, so just bear with me. I have an audio comment. I was from. I might as well play it here. Where is it? That ain't the audio comment. That ain't it. All right, here we go.
Hey, Butler, it's your buddy Jonathan Travers.
Oh, Jonathan Travers. So in the Mad at Dad death pool, by the way, he got thrown out of the death pool because all of his picks, or at least half of his picks, we have a musician death pool on Mad at Dad. Not my idea; it was Dave Slusher's idea, which I totally support it because I think it's a fun thing. Well, anyway, we have a Mad at Dad death pool at madatdadpodcast.com, and Jonathan Travers is maybe he's a listener of the Mad at Dad. I don't know. I hope he is. I think he is because this comment. We have a Mad at Dad death pool, and Jonathan Travers is in the death pool. And what you have to do is you have to pick musicians that you think are going to die, and you get points. He picked about half of his picks were not musicians, and if it looks like that your picks are not musicians and that you could just be a troll on the website, Dave Slusher will eject you. He will disqualify you from the Mad at Dad death pool. Well, he disqualified Jonathan Travers because he didn't know that he didn't know he was actually Jonathan Travers. And Jonathan Travers sent him an email saying "fuck you," and I tried to contact Jonathan Travers. Said, "Hey man, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you and Dave Slusher. Why did you get thrown out of death pool? Did you not pick musicians or what's going on?" He never responded. But then the next day he sent me an audio comment. The reason he sent me this, I'll just let it roll here.
Tuesday, Valentine's Day, 10 o'clock on the dot.
Okay, we'll back it up here.
Hey, Butler, it's your buddy Jonathan Travers.
Hey, Jonathan.
Tuesday, Valentine's Day, 10 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not even calling for what you think I'm calling about. Don't go and waste anybody's money or your time going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's what he's talking about. I didn't say this on the last Rock and Roll Geek show, but on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group, which I did not start, but I do approve people. Just look for rockandrollgeek.com. Let me take a sip of this fine Cooper Ale. Man, this is good beer. It's probably considered cheap shit beer in Australia, but tastes good to me. Anyway, on the Facebook group, Chris Capel, the rock and roll copywriter, posted something about that you can get you can go to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony in New York, and tickets are only $2,500. And somebody posted, I will gladly pitch in $150 for Michael to go. And then somebody else said, I'll match your $150. And I said, all right, motherfuckers, put your money where your mouth is. Here's a GoFundMe page that I just created to collect money to send Michael Butler to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And what I will do is if you send me enough money for my ticket and plane fare to get to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'll stay on a park bench or I'll figure out where to stay. I'll go. So here's a GoFundMe page so you can put your money where your mouth is and send Butler to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I actually made a GoFundMe page to send me to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And in the first day, I got within the hours, I got $80. And then I stopped promoting it because I felt kind of guilty promoting it and got nothing. And these two guys, I don't remember who they are, but they did not donate the $150 like they promised. So I started this GoFundMe account, made a fool of myself, and nobody donated. So if you do donate to the Send Butler to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame GoFundMe account, and I don't get the goal, I'm going to give everybody their money back. So don't worry. I'm not just going to grab your money and take it and go buy cocaine with it. Don't worry. So yeah, that's what Jonathan Travers is referring to. I'll post a link to the GoFundMe just for the hell of it on the show notes at rockandrollgeek.com. And it's also on the Facebook Rock and Roll Geek group. All right, back to you, Jonathan Travers. He says, don't go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because it's shit, which I wasn't planning on going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame museum. I was going to go to the induction ceremony.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've been there twice. It is the worst fucking piece of shit, quote unquote, museum you could ever go to. They years ago, they raised it. They had the wall exhibit for Pink Floyd. So I went there. Hey, wow, they had 7 of the foam bricks that they built during the concert.
That was the whole exhibit?
Card in front of it. That was one of the big parts of the exhibit. And then they rotate the shit. It's a horrible. How Cleveland even got to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame makes it a joke to begin with. If you want to go anywhere, go up into Detroit. There's a bar called the IROC. That's got more memorabilia on the walls than I've seen at any hard rock or any museum. I mean, you want to talk about Alice Cooper band's guitar signed by the band on the wall, literally still with the nails that they nailed it with back in those 70s. I mean, shit like that is still on the wall there. How that place has never been broken into, I have no idea. Either go there or go to the Motown Museum where you can actually go into the studio and see where the real shit happened. On West Grand Boulevard, but trust me, do not go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That is a farce. It's one of the worst. I mean, I went the big thing in the Kiss exhibit was a Gene Simmons costume that was on one of the most undersized mannequins. So they couldn't even get a mannequin that fit the suit that they were putting on. I mean, it's just a joke. Stay away from it at all costs. Later, stay frosty.
Stay frosty. I'm sorry. I love Jonathan Travers. I look forward to his calls. Whenever Jonathan Travers calls the Rock and Roll Geek Show, I get a smile on my face because I know Jonathan Travers is not really the curmudgeon that he tries to portray. And his email to Dave Slusher was simply, "I'm kicked out of the death pool. Fuck you." And I told Dave Slusher that's just Jonathan Travers' shtick. But yeah. Anyway, Jonathan Travers, if you're listening to this, you're back. You've been reinstated into the death pool. Okay, so all is good. But you're supposed to pick only musicians. If you've paid attention, you're only supposed to pick. It's a musician death pool. Don't pick movie stars if they haven't been on an album. All right. Fuck you. All right, I'm just kidding. All right. All right, I'm going to play a song now, okay? I'm going to probably just play a bunch of music because I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to play brand new Dan Baird and Homemade Sin. Dan Baird has a solo album. It just came out like 2 weeks. I think it just came out. It might not even be out yet. He's got a solo album called So Low. Andy's got a new Homemade Sin album coming out in March 3rd. The prolificness of this dude is unbelievable. Anyway, Craig, the guitar player for the Butlers, got a bright idea because Dan Baird is playing 2 shows in New York City. I should just transfer the GoFundMe to that. But anyway, Dan Baird is playing 2 shows he's playing 1 show in New York City and then another one like in Middlefield or somewhere like that. North, an hour and a half. So we're actually going to make a road trip. Me and Billy and Eric Lannon, the original drummer for American Heartbreak, and Craig. We're all flying to New York. Tickets were like $300 round trip on Virgin. So we're going to go to New York and see Dan Baird on March 17th in New York City. If you live in New York, let's all go, friends. We'll have a meetup at the Dan Baird Homemade Sin Show. How about that? Will that be fun? Hell yes, it will be fun. I'm going to go geek out on Dan Baird. I believe that the guy who runs this record label, Jerkin, what's the record? Jerkin Crocus. I believe he's going to be the merch guy. I think he's going to be out on these shows. And I'm going to talk that dude's ear off. Well, anyway, here's a brand new Dan Baird and Homemade Sin song. This is called Shake It Till It's Sore. Oh, here we go. Okay, start it over. Shake it till Shake it till it's sore.
Gonna
good is that? As soon as I heard that, a smile came across my face. Chris Stanley sent me the email from Jerk and Crocus Records and turned me on to this. I cannot believe how fast that guy puts out material. That's quality, man. A little bit of a Tom Petty, that ow, 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 little Tom Petty. It's really Johnny Thunders, but little Johnny Thunder or little Tom Petty too. That is great, and I cannot wait to go see Dan Baird and Homemade Sin. If you live up that way, let's get together, friends, and have a big meetup, and I'll get drunk and go watch Dan Baird. How fun will that be? All right. What else do I have? Friend of the show, my podcast mentor, Dave Slusher, suggested on the last Mad at Dad that I should start a new segment on the Rock and Roll Geek Show called "Does It Hold Up?" It's where his idea. I don't know how good this idea is or not. Maybe this bit will bomb. I don't know, but his idea. It's kind of like a variation of Classic Albums Revisited or a variation of a track by track, where I take an album that I liked in my youth and listen to it and decide if it's what I remembered in my youth as being a great album, listen to parts of it again and see if it stands the test of time. Hence the name, Will It Hold Up? I went to look for a song about Will It Hold Up so that I could make an intro for this bit. Only thing I could find was a crappy Beyonce song called Hold Up. So I ain't playing that. You see the Grammys? She was that Beyonce performance on the Grammys was, I don't know what that was, but I do know what it was. It was boring as hell. Metallica and Lady Gaga, actually, I did not dislike that. It was, of course, they cut out Dave Hetfield's vocals. Dave Hetfield and James Mustaine. They cut out James Mustaine's vocals, and he got pissed off. I find it hard to believe that could not have been done on purpose. I mean, it's as professionally run as the Grammy performance is, and they only fuck up Metallica's performance. That just seems a little fishy to me. I don't know. Somebody might have a thing for Metallica. I don't know, but it was a pretty good performance. I could have done without the fake headbanging of the dancers on stage and in the audience. And I could have done without Lady Gaga doing the obligatory stage dive, although you can tell that she is sincere in her love for metal. I remember somebody asking her if she would like to be remembered as big as Madonna or something to that effect, and she said, they asked her something like, would you like to go down as historic as Madonna or something? She said, I'd rather be remembered like Iron Maiden. And I think she's telling the truth. I think she is a real rock and metal fan. A long time ago, Jasper and Good Clean Fun told me that Lady Gaga was really rock and roll at heart, and I told him that I thought that Katy Perry was more rock and roll at heart than Lady Gaga. Well, I gotta say that Jasper, I was wrong. Katy Perry. She also performed at the Grammys, and that was horrible. All right. So, yeah, that was the only good part of the Grammys was Lady Gaga and Metallica. And Beyonce was not good. Where am I going with this? Oh, yes. Does it hold up? All right. So, the album I'm going to pick, I asked him for some suggestions. I was just going to, pick one out, just point an album out in my... on my album rack and do that. Well, I kind of did. I pulled an album, but I'm just going to do the MP3s. He suggested that he suggested that I do Styx, Paradise Ballroom, or what's the name of that Styx album? Anyway, whatever the one that has Babe on it is. Babe, I'm leaving. Oh, Paradise Theater. Well, I don't have that album, and I remember not liking that anyway. The only Styx albums that I really liked, because that really doesn't qualify for what his original premise was, because I never really liked the Paradise Theater album. I never even listened to it, to be honest with you, or Cornerstone, which he also suggested. He suggested Paul McCartney, Venus and Mars, which is a good one that I should probably pull out too, But he got me thinking about Styx. The reason he got me thinking about Styx is because actually I had on here Styx drummer sued for accident. All right, it's on Blabbermouth. I need to take a sip. I need to pull my shit together here and take a sip of this fine Tecate. So the reason I thought about Styx, and he made me think again about Styx, because I had this in my notes, that according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, that's a newspaper in Atlanta. Is there something, an ad going to play on Blabbermouth? Probably. If an ad plays, I apologize, friends. Styx drummer sued for allegedly injuring a fan with a drumstick to the face. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Styx Todd Sucherman, who was definitely not the original member of Styx that I know of, is being sued by a fan who claims to have suffered injuries in the face after the drummer allegedly negligently threw a drumstick into the audience during the band's 2015 performance in Georgia. So several months later, he decided to sue. So the guy just threw a drumstick out, hit somebody in the face, and they sued. Sucherman failed to give a timely and proper warning to allow the fan to fully protect herself from injury. So he's supposed to go, hey, I'm going to throw a drumstick. So he threw a drumstick and hit the girl in the face. Most likely, the girl was probably texting, and the drumstick hit her. The fan is seeking to recover damages, including medical expenses and lost income. How bad could she have got hit in the face? Also named in the lawsuit is TMB Productions, which is said to have owned, operated, and managed the band Styx in its musical performances at the time of the June 15th incident. So she waited almost a year to sue. Sucherman joined Styx in '96, there you go, when founding drum member John Panozzo proved too ill to perform with the band. He toured with Styx and first appeared on their live album Return to Paradise. Okay, there you go. Some of the comments on Blabbermouth. That fan has too much time on their hands. Get it? Styx, too much time on my hands. All right. That was from Martin McCann. Oh, no. Yes. I want to sue them when I hear Babe. and don't ever hear Mr. Roboto, but I want to sue them just for making it. That's from Angela Arnone. This is all just a grand illusion. Get it? So he got hit by Styx. Thank you, Joey Johnson. My ears are currently involved in a similar lawsuit with the band. All right, there's enough. All right, that's huge Blabbermouth comedy. So good luck to the drummer for Styx for accidentally hitting. If you're a drummer and you're going to throw drumsticks out, well, if you're in a local band, you're not going to get sued because you don't have any money. But if you're in a major band, be careful throwing drumsticks out because you'll get sued, or you could get sued. I'm hoping that gets thrown out of court, but you just never know. So the album I'm going to pick, see if it doesn't hold up, is from one of my favorite albums when I was a kid, Styx. Equinox. I don't know is that the first Styx? I don't know if that's the first Styx album or not, but it's the first Styx album I ever owned. Equinox. Has Lorelei, has Sweet Madam Blue. First, so we're just going to listen very quickly, and we'll see if it stands the test of time. I might as well do the Rock and Roll Geek scoring system. Oh, shit, I just dropped all of... All right, now I'm trashing the room. First song, Born for Adventure. Born for Adventure. I have dropped everything in the office. Sounds good to me. Not crazy about Dennis Dunaway's voice now. That doesn't really stand up to me. I like that riff. By the way, Tommy Shaw not in the band during this time.
To try me again, lady in waiting.
Lyrics are stupid.
She offered me pleasures,
Pleasures.
but not refuse. No, so no.
I like that.
For I was
70s.
born for adventure. Women, whiskey and sin. No, I never surrender. Live by the sword to the
It's actually Styx's fourth album. Came out in 1975. I think this so far stands up. I like the first song. All right, next song, Light Up. So far it stands. I'll give that one a +1. I'll give that one a half. Oh, this song is good. Stands up. Well, maybe not. I could do without the long, pretentious intro. I like that. That was the thing about Styx. They were kind of trying to be prog. That's a little bit of filler. Kind of doesn't stand up, does it? Yeah, he's right. It does sound a little different now that I'm a lot older, but I don't dislike it. The one guitar, the rhythm guitar, is all wah-wah.
sweet, sweet sounds will fill the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day's a holiday when your lips meet mine.
Now suddenly, this many years later, Dennis Dunaway, excuse me, I apologize, Dennis Dunaway. Dennis DeYoung sounds a little bit gay.
Weather's quite divine.
The weather's divine.
Your wine, lovely one.
Lovely one.
All I need is just one hit to get me by. 'Cause baby, when you're here, I'm halfway high. Light up, everybody. Join
I still like the tune. I'll give it a +1.
celebration.
All right, Lonely Child. We're gonna blaze through this. I'm not gonna make this an entire episode. Sounds a little like Angel. Is this bit dying? I don't know.
Lonely child.
Yeah, little pretentious.
Easy.
I kind of like that though.
You give me love like no one.
1975. I think I got this album when it came out.
You're my heart.
I was
Keep me moving.
14 years old when this album came out.
Seems you always understand.
When I was 14, I never had sex yet. I don't even think I even kissed a girl. I don't think I held a girl's hand yet. And I had Styx Equinox. This sounds like Keg Party. I like this. This is youth. What else was I doing when I was 14? I was roller skating on the speed team, speed skating on the speed skating team.
Like two notes in harmony. Come spend your life with me.
I like that.
Come spend
Yeah, this is good.
life with me.
Definitely holds up.
Be my lover. We'll make love in the morning light.
This reminds me about everything that was good about the 70s.
Magic spell of
Pompous, over the top, had good hard rock back at the root of it's good hard rock.
come spend your life with me.
Yeah, Lorelei. Come on. Stands up for sure. Or maybe it doesn't.
When I think
Oh,
of
yeah.
Lorelei, my head turns all
I like this.
around. It's
Yes, Dennis Dunaway sounds gay, but who cares?
She
I like the
moves
guitar
without
comes in. Listen.
sound. I call her on the telephone.
Yeah.
She says be there by
Come on.
8. Tonight's the night she's moving in.
She's moving in with me. I can't wait because I'm finally going to get laid.
She moves.
When you're a kid, you're finally going to get laid. 14-year-old kid.
Lorelei, let's live together. Brighter than the stars forever. Lorelei, let's live together. Brighter than the stars forever. Oh, baby, forever.
Yeah, this is good. I need to go up and find the vinyl so I can look at the liner notes.
Paradise, she softly speaks my name. She brightens every lonely night. No one's quite the same. She calls me on the telephone. She says be there by 8. Tonight's the night she's moving in. It's time to celebrate the way she moves. Ooh, I gotta say, Lorelei, let's live together. Brighter than the stars forever. Lorelei, let's live together. Brighter than the stars forever. Baby, baby, forever. Lorelei, let's live together. Let's live together. The stars forever. The stars forever. Let's live together. Let's live together. The stars forever. The stars forever. Let's live together. Let's live together. The stars forever.
I can't find the album. That song stands up for sure. Midnight Ride. Yeah, this is good hard rock. James Young, first lead vocals. James Young was the rocker of the band. You know what I'm talking about, child. Midnight Ride. You know, I have not heard this song since 1970, probably 1976, and I remember it. Check this out. You know, so far, this is a classic album. It stands up. I got so far out of 5 songs, I got 4.5 out of 5. I'm sorry, Dave Slusher. But I don't know if that's killing the bit, but so far, this album definitely stands up. Next song, Mother Dear. Little pompous.
Lonely feelings in the city. One room flat with crumbling walls. Sirens play a distant melody.
Yeah, this song's a little weak.
Neon shadows paint the halls. In the 13 months I've spent here, with my manuscript and rhymes,
Yeah, this was not that good.
needing cash for foolish pleasures. Mother dear, you'd call them crimes.
It's a little proggy, but it gets better.
Raise the roof, light the lights. Mother dear, I'm returning tonight. Now I see no concern. Mother dear, how you taught me to run.
This is them showing their musical diversity and how great they are musicians. This is what you did in the 70s with albums. Ah, it gets good. Gets trippy, man. Let's get stoned. This is good. It's redeeming itself. It went from a 0 to a half. All right. And then it totally redeemed. There's only 7 songs in this. Actually, there's 8 if you want to include Prelude 12 and Sweet Madam Blue are kind of like the same song. It's 7 minutes. So it's really kind of 7 songs. This is a masterpiece. I'm sorry, friends. A masterpiece. I don't know if you're with me on this bit. Dave Slusher, you can blame him. If you don't like this bit, it's Dave Slusher's fault, all right? If you like this bit, send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com, with the subject line, Butler, will it stand up or will it hold up? Is the greatest bit I've ever heard. And thank you for doing it. Put that in the subject line. If it is a bad bit, send an email to yourmother's a whore at fuzzykitten.biz. No, it's No, I'm sorry. Send an email to fuzzykitten@yourmother'sahore.biz with the subject line, Dave Slusher, don't you ever tell Butler to do any bits more on his show because you're ruining his show. Put that in the subject line at fuzzykitten@yourmother'sahore.biz. Now we got to listen to this in its entirety. I have nothing else to do on a Saturday night. You can always fast forward it, friends. Oh, yeah. Come on. I think I know all the words to this song. Let me see. Time after time, I sit and I wait for your call. Have not heard this in a long time, but I remember that.
After time, I sit and I
Do I remember any more of the lyrics?
for your call.
A word from your lips, and the world turns around. Is that it?
I know
I know I'm a fool, but what can I say? I long for the light. I don't remember the words.
but what can I say? Whatever the
Price I'll pay.
I'll pay
There you go. For you,
for you.
Madam Blue. And of course, it's not sweet, S-W-E-E-T, it's S-U-I-T-E.
Once
Long ago,
long ago, a word from your lips,
and the world turns around.
world turn around. But somehow you've changed.
You're so far away.
So far away.
I long for the
I long
past.
for the past.
I live for the day. Oh, dream of the
For
day.
the days with you.
Now I got to hear the whole song. This song is great.
Madame Blue. Sweet Madame Blue. Gaze at your
6 out of 7, pretty quality album. I'd say it holds up, Dave Slusher.
Sweet Madame Blue. Future is all but past. So dressed in your jewels, you made your own rules. You conquered the world
And more.
more.
Heaven's Door.
Heaven's
Yep.
door.
Got a good little bass lick, too. The album cover has a block of ice that's on fire. Yeah, here's when it gets heavy. Oh, when I was a kid, I thought this was brilliant. America. James Young had a good guitar tone, too. America was because it was right before the bicentennial. Remember, 1976 was the 200th birthday of the United States. So this came out in 75, hoping it was going to be, charting in 2000 or in 1976. That was released in December of 75. So they just in time for the bicentennial. So hence the word America. Red, white, and blue. Oh, I miss 1976, man. What a time that was. 15 years old in 76. Rolling Stone Album Guide gave this album 1 out of 5. All Music gives it a 2.5 out of 5. They're full of shit. Absolutely stands the test of time. If you have an album, if this bit doesn't bomb, if you have an album that I should see if it holds up, send it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right. I hope that bit didn't bomb, but that's what the fast forward button is for, friends. Does this hold up? Anything else I got? I want to play a little bit more music if it's okay. A friend of the show, BJ Lisco, he sent me some music, and in return, I'm going to play his band, which is called Turbo Lovers. And I am vamping while I look for the song. Here you go.
Well, I don't know what's yours, don't know what's mine. It's also very easy to cross that line. Well, I don't know what's right, don't know what's left. 'Cause everything I write, it's all been read. I'm looking for the answer in a song. Just another memory gone wrong. Inspired when I heard it sing along.
There you go, Turbo Lovers. That's good. I like that. I apologize for the unprofessionalism, but you know how it goes. By the way, this happened while I was doing track by tracks and stuff. But on February 3rd, Robert Dahlquist, I think that's how you pronounce it, the guitar player for the Helicopters, died at age 40. I don't know how he died, but he had. Also didn't know that he was working on his second solo album. Does anybody have any of that Robert Dahlquist solo album stuff? Could you please not send me that, because I would just be wrong. But that's a tragedy, man. The American Heartbreak did a couple of gigs with the Helicopters, and those guys were so cool. That they were, not only were they a great band, but they were really nice people too. We had done some gigs with Backyard Babies, and they were just the opposite of the Helicopters, if you get my drift. But the Helicopters were extremely nice and very gracious and generous. And that Robert guy was a cool guitar player. And he was also in Diamond Dogs as well, which is also another great band. So in honor of Robert Dahlquist, if I'm pronouncing his name, in honor of him dying, I'm gonna play something from a great Helicopters album called By the Grace of God. This is the title track, actually. This is called, top to bottom, this album is good. This was on Liquor and Poker in the United States, which was the same label that American Heartbreak was on for that last American Heartbreak album. And they gave us this album and a bunch of Helicopters swag, too. I love this album so much. This song, but rest in peace, Robert Dahlquist, if that's how you pronounce the name. Again, if anybody has that solo album from him, please send me that. I really appreciate it. This song is called By the Grace of God. Rest in peace.
Hey girl, you
There you go. What a quality album that is, man. Wow. All right. I think that's going to about wrap it up. I think I've about had enough beers. I'm going to close out with one more song. By the way, thank you so much for joining me on the Rock and Roll Geek Show. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you have chosen to listen to this podcast. There's many, 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 many thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of podcasts out there. Yes, this is one of the originals, but still one of the most unprofessional. I don't care. It's still fun for me to do it. And if you've been listening for all this time, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm saying right now because I've had quite a few of these Cooper Ales now. They kind of creep up on you a little bit faster than the Tecates. I don't know what my point was. I guess my point is thank you for listening to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Out of all the podcasts, thank you for choosing to listen to this one, friends. And if you donated to the show, I take a sip of this fine Cooper Ale to you, friends. I'm going to close out now with a song by a brand new band. I think it's a brand new band because I had never heard them before. But their record label sent me this song, or their management maybe sent me the song, Entertainment One. This band is called The Wild. They are, I don't know where they're from. I don't know anything about them, but I kind of like them. They're good hard rock. The band is called The Wild. This record is called Wild at Heart. Before I play it, thank you for listening, friends. Area code 706-621-ROCK. That's area code 706-7625. I would appreciate your show review. I'm starting to slur the words now. This is really bad. I would appreciate a show review if you want to call, or just let me know that I suck, or, oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to shut up now. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek, Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek, don't ask, Twitter, R&R Geek. Enough. Here is The Wild. This song is called Ready to Roll. We'll talk to you next time, friends.
Double
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.